Hello everybody, Moarhammer here, and I've got another battle report for you. And this is a bit of a change from the norm actually. It's a 1000 point battle with my Flesh Eater Court against Skaven's Skryre, and it is a narrative battle report. We are playing a narrative game, which is a lot of fun, and you'll kind of understand a lot of what makes this game so fun when you see the custom battle mats that we had for this game. So, if you want to check out our army lists, they're a bit weird, but check them out in the video description below, and then I'll jump straight into the battle report. So, here you go. What a cool mat. So what this mat is, it's like an underground sewer network. Lots of cool little details and pathways and stuff all over the place. But essentially what we were saying is that the Skryre are all deployed in the middle there. You've got 3 Stormfiends, got a big unit of acolytes, and you've got some Skaven death runners as well, so they were kind of allied into the Skryre. And then just outside at the top you've got a Doom wheel, I think it's 2 Doom-flayers and a poison wind mortar, or the warp fire project thrower thing. So yeah, so lots of rats. Then with me, kind of at the bottom left hand corner you've got a unit of 20 ghouls, and then at the top right you've got another unit of 20 ghouls with a Crypt Courtier, a Ghoul King, and 3 Crypt Horrors. And then kind of in the room that's the bottom right corner of the quarter of the map, you've got another Crypt Courtier. The reason they kind of deployed that is because they were chosen randomly. Each unit came into the sewers, and he started in the centre. The objective for him is his death runners have a little kind of a weapon of some sort, like a warp stone weapon, and they're trying to get it out of the sewer in any way they can, and I've got to try and eat him, to simply put. So, because I was the one doing the ambushing, I got to go first. And that's exactly what I do. I kind of run as much at him as possible. I'm running through, obviously it's not an open map, you've got to, in the game we're trying to make sense of the fact that you've got to use paths, you can't just walk through walls. So my ghouls on the bottom kind of run through the doorway of the room they're in towards the big dudes. Same with the other unit of Crypt Horrors, the Crypt Ghouls, sorry. The Crypt Horrors run around the top tunnel to try and take care of some of those weapon teams, and the Ghoul King was in the centre there as well. One thing I did forget to mention here is we are playing the Malign Portents rules. We're just kind of trying out one of the decks and using that as we see fit. So it's not it doesn't really affect the game hugely, but it does have a couple of really fun things that I'll kind of get onto when they happen. So in the charge phase, I slam my unit of Crypt Ghouls into the Stormfiends, and I do a bunch of wounds. I think I put 1 down to 1 wound left, so I don't do too badly. I can live with that. Then he attacks with his one of his the flare things, the Doom-flayers, and he kills 2 of my Crypt Horrors. I didn't expect that to happen. He just rolled really well. He had like D3 attacks, and he rolled a 3. And then he used like the warp stone tokens to double the damage. He just did like 9 damage to them. There's nothing I could do. It was brutal, yeah. So I can't fault him for that. So, he attacked back with the Stormfiends. He does kill 6 or 7, 6 Crypt Horrors, Crypt Ghouls. So not a big deal. So then we jump into his turn. He puts a bunch of buffs onto his Stormfiends, but at the very least they're kind of... I'm stopping him from moving out that exit. There is another small tunnel at the top of that room he's in, but he's kind of blocking it with the combat that's going on. So he's kind of stuck where he is from them, which is really good for me, because I just need to pin him in and try and tear him apart. But he moves his other weapon teams around to try and deal with the Crypt Horror that's sitting there. And he has no problem doing that. He charges in, he just murders it. There's not very much to be said. I attack with my ghouls, and I do another couple of wounds. So now 1 Stormfiend's taken 3 wounds total, so not doing great, but I'm getting there. But I only lose 3 back, so at least they're doing a pretty good job of keeping them in there. So we go to the initiative roll, and he wins it, which isn't too bad. He uses one of his Malign Portents things, or something he rolls, and he just, like, everything on the board takes a mortal wound. So if you're wondering why there's just a whole bunch of tokens and wound dice sitting around the board, that's because everybody just took a mortal wound, because they felt like it So that was quite funny. It didn't mean that he nearly like killed a bunch of his weapon teams, so that was quite entertaining. Did enjoy that. But he got the double turn, so he runs all of his clan rats and the acolytes out of that. So that big unit is clan rats. I don't think I mentioned that. Out of the tunnel, and he brings his death runners with the warpstone tokens or the warpstone shards ready to come out of that tunnel as well, because that side of the board is not well defended. In the combat phase, he manages to brutalise his the rest of the Crypt Horrors with his Stormfiends, so they're all dead now, which is sad. But fortunately, he does fail all of his other charges, so that was great. So in my turn, I move my Crypt Ghouls up towards the weapon teams, ready to get a decent charge on them. He does use a malign portents thing, which means that I have to reduce D6 from my charge range. So I decide to use the Flayed Pennant because I get +3 to my charge range. So I end up just making it into combat with these guys. It was a bit hit and miss actually. I think he rolls like a 4 or a 5, but I rolled well enough for my charge that I managed to get in. Unsurprisingly, I managed to totally murder 2 of the weapons teams. It wasn't too difficult for me to do. The last one does remain alive, unfortunately, but that is what it is. One thing I forgot to mention is that using my Ghoul King's command ability, I used 100 of my points of my summoning pool to bring in 10 Crypt Ghouls at the north entrance. So they came piling into one, they charge into the clan rats. I lose 4 of my Crypt Ghouls to the weapons team somehow. And this combat over here, I kill 3 of the clan rats, and I lose I think 3 of my Crypt Ghouls. Nothing major, but it does stop him from using that passageway because it's now blocked up. So he's got to go further if he wants to get those Skaven shards out of here. So we go into the initiative roll, and he wins it. He runs his... So I didn't take a picture of the whole board at the start here, but basically he runs his Stormfiends... Not runs, but he moves them out as fast as he could, and he charges into that poor, lonely Ghoul Courtier. So he's about to get completely stomped on. The rest of my ghouls finish off that weapons team, which is great. And like I said, that other remaining Ghoul Courtier got his head kicked in. So we go to my turn, and I do a whole bunch of stuff with malign portents. There's like a lot of stuff that does a wound here or a wound there. So I managed to kill one of the Stormfiends with that and put 5 wounds onto another. So that was quite fun. I used an Arcane Bolt as well, just to plink a few extra wounds off. So he's doing quite well. I do lose the rest of my ghouls that were in the centre last turn, but I do use my command ability again to bring another 10 of them on. And they're just on the left-hand side of the board there, ready to go into the clan rats. So that was ideal. So I charge them with them there. My Ghoul King makes a really long 9-inch charge and goes straight into the Death Runners. Now these are the guys carrying the warp tokens, so these are the guys that I need to eat. Yeah. I try to charge my ghouls into the Stormfiends, but wouldn't you know it, he uses that -D6 to his charge roll again. He rolls a 6, and I don't make the charge, which was very disappointing. But it is what it is. So I attack here with my ghouls. I kill a bunch of clan rats. I think I lose 1 ghoul back, so not too bad. I think I actually lied to you. I think I do make this charge. Sorry, I think I got that wrong. So yeah, I managed to make the charge, and I kill one of the Stormfiends. And in return, he manages to do an absolute boatload of wounds. I think he kills 12 of my ghouls with this one guy. It's absolutely brutal. But I enjoyed it because I like brutal things. I do lose another couple from a battle shock as well, so there was that. But the important one was my Ghoul King. He does manage to eat all of the Skaven Death Runs, which was fantastic. So he leaves the Warpstone tokens alone. We did decide at this point that all of the Skaven can pick it up and try and run off with it, but it's being guarded by an angry, hungry Ghoul King now, so fingers crossed it would work out okay for me. So he just charged the Ghoul King with the Arc Warlock that was just sitting there. Goes into combat with him, trying to take him down. And when you know it, he just gets eaten. I was rolling quite well with this guy. You get 6 attacks and he just eats the guy. It was great. Over here, he brings his Packmaster across to the ghouls to try and get them in there. I think he fails the charge though. And then over here, I finish off all but 2 of the clan rats with my ghouls. And at that point, that was the end of the game. There was no way he could really pick up the charge with anyone. He was being guarded by my Ghoul King. His Stormfiend was about to get eaten, or had been eaten, and there's nothing left he could really do to claim the objective. So that is the end of the game, and what a cool game. As far as the narrative's concerned, all my flesh courts had a good meal, and they got some really cool, weird, glowing tokens. They don't really know what it does, but they'll probably put it into a crown of some sort. So that's really cool. So they have a narrative game, bit unusual I know, but still a lot of fun. I do enjoy this kind of game, telling us stories of what the game is and all the hobby is all about. So yay for that. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this kind of battle report, let me know. I'll do more of them if it's the sort of thing that you would rather see, or if you like seeing it, let me know. That'd be great. So thanks very much for watching. If you want to reach me, you can find me at Moarhammer on Twitter or Moarhammer88 on Instagram. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for another battle report.